for dinner. Tonight is Sunday, and last week I pressure canned a whole bunch of pork shoulder. I bought this bundle of pork shoulder that was like 22 pounds, and it was an assortment of chops and ribs and all kinds of good pieces. There was a little 3-pound roast in there, and I thought I'm going to keep that out, and I'm going to make pork green chili. So that's what we're making today. Let's see what goes in this. Super simple. Okay, I've taken that roast and I trimmed a lot of the fat off of it, and I cut it into little cubes. Then I've got one large onion. It's a sweet onion that I have sliced and diced a bit. And then I have, oh my goodness, I have garlic. I don't know how many cloves. This is 2 whole heads of garlic that I have peeled and cut the tips and the ends off of. This is one 27-ounce can of fire roasted whole hatch green chilies. Now, this is how they come. I actually have this can filled with water. This is how they come on the shelf, and you really will only need 1 can. I debated on whether I needed 2 cans, but really 1 is going to be good. And I have, it's about a quart. It's 35 ounces of tomatillo sauce. You don't have to use this brand. This is easily accessible in the Latin food section of your grocery store. That's also where I got the green chilies. The seasonings that we put in here are a tablespoon of cumin, a tablespoon of oregano, a teaspoon of dry thyme, a teaspoon of onion powder, a teaspoon of garlic powder, a teaspoon of black pepper, and salt. So what we're going to do is I'm going to spare you this part. I'm going to heat up my cast iron skillet, and I'm going to brown this meat in just a little bit of olive oil, and we're going to get it nice and brown. And then I'm going to come back and I'm going to show you what happens next. Okay, we're back. I have browned up all my meat, and I'm just going to take a second while we're here, and I'm going to start throwing all my stuff in here. Now I'm just going to give that garlic a rough chop, because really it's going to be in the oven so long that it's going to break up. So don't worry, and don't have, please, a heart attack because I'm putting 87 cloves of garlic in this dish. Not really 87 cloves, I promise, but it was 2 full heads minus some of the tiny little ones that are too much of a pain to peel. Don't even bother. It smells amazing. All you have to do is stand right here among all the ingredients. It smells exactly like pork green chili. Okay. Every last bit of garlic goes in there. This is easy. I browned off my meat in my cast iron skillet, and the only thing that I wanted to make sure that you knew, I put a little olive oil in there the first time. And do not crowd your pan. I did it in 3 batches. As they were finished, I stuck them in this pot. Then I washed my pan out right away. Okay, here's that onion that's going to go in there.
Rinsed it up.
I did rinse. You never use soap on your cast iron. It's very bad for your cast iron to use soap. You'll never get a good season on it if you use soap. So remember that. Someday I'll show you guys how I take care of my cast iron in case you are unfamiliar with cast iron. Everyone should have some. We're going to toss this 27-ounce can of green chili in here that I have chopped up.
It's the original nonstick.
That's right. Now, cast iron is the original nonstick. And you can cook on any surface. Glass, ceramic, regular stove, gas stove. You can put it in the oven. You can cook over campfire, open flame, anything. I'm going to put my tomatillo sauce in here. Oh, that's good. And it's spicy, so I'm not going to use the whole thing. Oh, it's hot.
That's good. And hot.
It's hot. So I'm only going to use, you can't see, it's down to right here. I used about a cup. I'm going to toss the water in here. Let's give that a stir. And of course, all the liquid is going to cook out of those veggies.
That's actually just about the right amount of heat.
It does. And those green chilies are not spicy. They're very mild. And they've been fire roasted. So, here are all of our spices. And the secret is the cumin. You've got to put the cumin in there, otherwise it's not going to taste like it should. And this is my own recipe. I lived in Arizona for a long time. I lived in northern Arizona for longer than I lived in southern Arizona. I went to high school in Tucson. In my early 20s, we moved to a little town called Williams, which is 60 miles south of the Grand Canyon, and in the mountains where we get snow every year. And I lived there for a lot longer. So, you know, when you live in that region, this is really local food. This is what people eat on a regular basis. A lot of people make this in their crock pot. Today, I'm just going to put it in my cast iron Dutch oven. There's just a perfect amount in here. I'm going to put the lid on it, and I'm going to put it in the oven. I've got my oven set at around 350. And I'm just going to cook it all day until we're ready to eat. And when we're ready to do that, I'll come back and I will fix you a plate of Southwestern goodness. Until then, I'll see ya.
I think I want a bowl.
Oh, he says, I think you'll want a bowl, not a plate this time. Okay, we're ready. And it's about 7 o'clock in the evening. We're ready to eat our supper. And this was ready in about 3 hours. I put this in the oven. And now this is a cast iron Dutch oven. And I put it in the oven at 350, and after about 3 hours, it was perfectly done. It was delicious. It's delicious. We did have a taste of it. But now we're ready to have our supper. And you know what that means. It's time to fix you a plate. Because I'm sure you're hungry. I know that Rick is, because we've been smelling this cook all day long. Okay, so I'm just going to ladle some up for you. And it's wonderful. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to put a dollop of sour cream right in the middle.
It does have a little bit of heat to it.
It does. And I did not use that whole bottle of tomatillo sauce, but you saw me only use a cup. And I'm going to put some cheese. And this is your preference. If you like extra chopped onion on yours, throw it on in there. Avocado, chopped avocado is really nice too. So, there you have it. Pork green chili. Just like I used to get in Arizona when I lived there. I hope you try this. And I hope you enjoy it. So until next time, I'll see ya.